Poland's agriculture minister has said that talks with Ukraine about grain imports are on track. Warsaw also reiterated its demand for the withdrawal of Ukraine's complaint against Poland at the World Trade Organization. This comes after a dispute between the two countries. Earlier this month, Poland, Slovakia and Hungary decided to extend a ban on Ukrainian grain imports. This was to protect farmers from a surge in the commodities market. Russia has hit Ukrainian port infrastructure and grain storage facilities in an overnight drone strike. Ukraine says that 2 people have been injured in the attack. A border checkpoint building, storage facilities, and more than 30 trucks and cars were also damaged. Russia has blamed the United States for the Nord Stream gas pipeline explosions last year. Russia's UN ambassador has said that there is emerging evidence which suggests American involvement. In September last year, several blasts ruptured 3 out of 4 Nord Stream gas pipelines. The Nord Stream pipelines run beneath the Baltic Sea and link Russia and Germany. Russia's most prominent opposition leader, Alexei Navalny, has lost an appeal. This was against an extra 19 years in prison. The new term extends his total sentence to more than 30 years. Last month, Navalny was convicted on 6 charges related to extremist activity, which he denies. Navalny's lawyer has said they plan to appeal again. North Korea has said it will deport US soldier Travis King. Pyongyang will deport him after finishing its investigation into King's quote-unquote illegal entry. However, it has not specified how, when or where he will be expelled. In July, King crossed the border from South Korea during a tour. US officials have said they believe King crossed the border intentionally. More than 100 people have died and 150 have been injured after a major fire broke out at a wedding party in Iraq. The fire ripped through a large event hall after fireworks were lit during the celebration. Iraqi officials say that the building was made of highly flammable construction material, which contributed to its rapid collapse. A team of India's Central Bureau of Investigation, or CBI, is headed to the northeastern state of Manipur. This is to investigate the killing of 2 students. Several photos of the bodies of 2 missing Meitei teenagers appeared on the internet. Ethnic violence between the Meitei and Kuki communities began in May and has plunged Manipur into chaos. India's External Affairs Minister S. JAISHANKAR addressed the United Nations General Assembly on Tuesday. He spoke on several issues including India's G20 presidency, respect for territorial integrity, and the global world order. Speaking about the global political situation, JAISHANKAR said that the world is witnessing an exceptional period of turmoil. He also spoke about the African Union's membership in the G20. JAISHANKAR said, and I quote, "By doing so, we gave voice to an entire continent which has long been due." Meanwhile, JAISHANKAR says that India has spoken with Canada. This is regarding Canada's accusations of India's involvement in the murder of pro-Khalistan separatist Hardeep Singh Nijjar. JAISHANKAR said that India is ready to look into any specific information that Canada provides on the case. He said this during an event organized by the American think tank Council on Foreign Relations. Anthony Rota, the Speaker of Canada's lower house of Parliament, will resign. This comes just a few days after Rota publicly praised a former Nazi soldier in the Canadian House of Commons. Yesterday, he also issued an apology after facing backlash from the Jewish community. A New York court has found that former US President Donald Trump misrepresented his wealth. Trump and his family inflated the value of his properties and other assets to suit their business needs. A judge has said that Trump, his adult sons Donald Jr. and Eric, and the Trump Organization were involved in the fraudulent activity. This is a major setback for Trump. It may severely hamper his ability to do business in the state of New York. The US has announced aid worth $11.5 million for Nagorno-Karabakh. This was during US official Samantha Power's visit to Armenia's capital, Yerevan. She also called for Azerbaijan to maintain the ceasefire and protect the rights of civilians in the region. Power added that Azerbaijan's use of force was unacceptable and that Washington was looking at an appropriate response. Former Pakistan Prime Minister Imran Khan has been moved to a new jail with better facilities. About a dozen supporters gathered outside Adiala jail, throwing rose petals and chanting as Khan arrived. He was jailed in August in connection with a corruption case. A court suspended his prison term weeks later. However, his release was prevented due to a custody order in another case. In climate news, smoke from Canadian wildfires covered the skies of Greenland's capital, Nuuk. Officials say the smog is having an adverse impact on the air quality of the city. The smoke drifted from Canada over the Atlantic Ocean and settled over Greenland. Canada has been battling wildfires since April. Torrential rains flooded the streets of Thailand's capital, Bangkok, yesterday. Residents were seen wading through knee-deep waters due to flash floods. Thailand's National Weather Department has issued a heavy rainfall warning in Bangkok throughout this week. Russia says it plans on imposing a ban on importing seafood from Japan. This is over the release of treated waters from the Fukushima nuclear plant into the sea. Moscow says talks with Tokyo regarding a possible ban on seafood imports are currently underway. Meanwhile, Japan says that 1 month since treated Fukushima waters were released, no traces of the radioactive material tritium have been found in fish. Japan's Environment Ministry says this means that if tritium levels are present in the water, they are so low that they can't be detected and are not harmful. Remember, on the 26th of August, Japan began releasing treated waters from the Fukushima nuclear plant into the ocean. At least 8 brown bear cubs born this year have died of starvation in northern Japan. This is due to a shortage of pink salmon. Scientists say rising sea temperatures is causing a decline in salmon population. Experts warn that if the brown bears do not find salmon to eat, they may look for other food sources, which will increase the probability of attack on humans. The International Energy Agency, or IEA, says green technology and clean energy is needed to limit global warming to 1.5 degrees Celsius. The Paris-based body says geopolitical tensions were the biggest challenge to working towards climate change. The IEA added that the world needs an investment of $4.5 trillion per year to transition to clean energy. As per their estimates, nations were only investing over $1.5 trillion per year. A fire has erupted at a Tesla lithium battery storage unit in the Australian state of Queensland. Authorities have warned nearby residents to stay indoors due to hazardous smoke. The incident has sparked outrage as people question the government's energy policies. Meanwhile, Tesla has advised fire marshals to let the fire to burn out, which may take several days. On to business and tech news. The International Monetary Fund, or IMF, has failed to reach a staff-level agreement with Sri Lanka. This is to keep a $3 billion bailout on track and unlock more funds. The agreement couldn't be reached due to a potential shortfall in the government's revenue generation. Sri Lanka will now have to hold more discussions with the lender to ensure it can meet targets. Hui Kaiyan, the chairman of Chinese property developer Evergrande Group, has been placed under police control. This is according to reports. Reports say Hui was taken away by Chinese police earlier this month. He is being monitored at a designated location. It is not immediately clear why he is under residential surveillance. In 2021, Evergrande emerged as the poster child of the country's unprecedented debt crisis in the property sector. The US antitrust regulator has filed a long-awaited lawsuit against Amazon. The Federal Trade Commission, or FTC, has accused the firm of harming consumers with higher prices and monopolistic practices. The lawsuit had been expected after years of complaints against the e-commerce firm and other tech giants of market dominance. The FTC has asked a court to consider forcing Amazon to sell its assets to restore fair competition. US President Joe Biden joined the striking employees of America's United Auto Workers Union in Michigan. He backed their call for a 40% pay rise. Biden added that they deserve a quote-unquote lot more than what they are getting. His appearance was the first visit by a US president to striking workers in modern history. It comes a day before Donald Trump is scheduled to meet the protesting workers. Uber is partnering with local taxi service Yellow Cab in the US state of California. This will add up to 1,200 cabs to the ride-hailing giant's platform. Uber has already been securing similar deals in Europe and Asia in recent years. South Korea's Samsung SDI plans to invest $2 billion in the US. This is to build a joint electric vehicle battery plant with automaker Stellantis. The company plans to execute the investment starting next April. It aims to start production in 2027. Samsung SDI is the electronic component making wing of Samsung Electronics Group. Meanwhile, American retail chain Target has said it will close 9 stores across the US amid rising crime. The retailer said theft and retail crime threatened the security of its employees and customers. Stores in New York City, Seattle, San Francisco, Auckland, and Portland will be closed. This will be effective from the 21st of October. The United States restricted imports from 3 Chinese companies. This is to eliminate goods made using forced labor from the US supply chain. The 3 companies were designated as a result of their alleged business practices involving Uyghur minorities. US has accused the companies of working with the Xinjiang government. This is to recruit and use forced labor of Uyghurs, Kazakhs, and other persecuted groups. Elon Musk's social media platform X, which was formerly known as Twitter, has disabled a feature. It allowed users to report misinformation about elections. This is according to a research organization, Reset Tech Australia. The feature was introduced in 2022, but now X has disabled it in every jurisdiction except the European Union. Spotify is not planning to ban music that is made using artificial intelligence. This is according to the music streaming platform's CEO, Daniel Ek. Referring to the use of AI in auto-tune songs, Ek says that there is legitimate use of AI in most songs these days. Earlier, Spotify had removed a popular song from its platform that used AI to mimic the voices of singers Drake and The Weeknd. Moving to sports, let's start with the Asian Games. India's 5th Kaur Samra clinched gold at the women's 50-meter rifle 3-position event. Samra also set a new world record for the highest points at a score of 469.6 after 15 shots. She broke the previous record by 2.6 points. Meanwhile, India also won gold at the women's 25-meter air pistol team event. The trio Manu Bhakar, Isha Singh and Rhythm Sangwan shot a combined score of 1759. China finished second, falling just 3 points short, and South Korea finished third. Nepal batter Kushal Malla broke 2 T20 records while competing at the Asian Games. This was during a match against Mongolia. Malla set a new record for the fastest century in a 20-over innings. He scored 100 runs in just 34 balls overtaking Indian batter Rohit Sharma's record by 1 ball. Before scoring the century, Malla also scored the fastest half-century in a T20 match. The Nepalese batsman smashed 50 runs in just 9 balls. This broke Indian batter Yuvraj Singh's 12-ball 50-run record. Nepal also set a new record for the highest T20 score. They scored 314 runs in 20 overs. In other cricket news, New Zealand beat Bangladesh by 7 wickets in yesterday's one-day international match in their bilateral series. Hosts Bangladesh batted first and were bowled out for 171 in the 34th over. In the second innings, the Black Caps lost just 3 wickets as they chased down the target with 91 balls to spare. With the win, New Zealand clinched the 3-match series 2-0. Meanwhile, New Zealand pacer Tim Southee has been cleared to play in the upcoming ODI World Cup. The veteran seamer continues to recover from a surgery on his fractured right thumb. Team medics say the bowler will make a full recovery in time for the big tournament. Tim Southee will join the New Zealand squad in India next week. Pakistan's captain Babar Azam has been fined by traffic police in the city of Lahore. The cricketer was charged with driving without a license and violating lane discipline. The development happened just days ahead of Pakistan's departure to India for the Cricket World Cup. In football, Manchester United beat Crystal Palace 3-0 in the English Football League Cup. The match was played at the iconic Old Trafford last night. In the first half, goals from Alejandro Garnacho and Casemiro gave the Red Devils a 2-goal lead. Anthony Martial scored for United in the 55th minute to seal the win. Barcelona drew 2-2 with Mallorca in La Liga today. The hosts took an early lead with a goal in the 8th minute. Barca equalized in the 41st. The hosts then scored 3 minutes into first half injury time to enter half-time with the lead. In the second half, visitors Barcelona levelled the match with a goal in the 75th minute. It was a rough game of 90 minutes with a combined 26 fouls, 5 yellow cards and 1 red card. UEFA has spoken out in favour of Russia returning to European competitions. The European football body will reintroduce Russia's junior teams in competitions this season. UEFA says children should not be punished for the actions and responsibilities of adults. The football body is even mulling the return of Russian match officials. In 2022, UEFA had banned Russian teams and match officials from European games over the country's invasion of Ukraine. In tennis, Indian veteran Leander Paes has become the first Asian male to be nominated to the International Hall of Fame. Leander Paes is one of the 6 international players announced for the class of 2024. The tennis legend says, and I quote, "After 3 decades of passion and playing for 1.3+ billion Indians, I am thrilled that my hard work has been recognized." Leander Paes has won 18 Grand Slam titles and a bronze medal at the 1996 Atlanta Olympics. In entertainment news, the Writers Guild of America, or WGA, have decided to end their 5-month-long strike. The board members of the union voted to accept a deal with Hollywood studios. Union members are calling the deal exceptional. From today, the writers can resume work on Hollywood projects. While talk shows will be the first to return, scripted shows might still take a while. With the writers' strike coming to an end, the Hollywood Actors Union will also be meeting with studio representatives soon. According to reports, meetings will take place next week. The Screen Actors Guild, American Federation of Television and Radio Artists, or SAG-AFTRA, has been on strike since July this year. Chat show Real Time with Bill Maher will return to HBO from Friday. Now that Hollywood's writers' strike has ended, the show's production can start again. Host Bill Maher wrote on X, and I quote, My writers and real time are back. See you Friday night. Maher earlier had planned to revive the show without the writers. Singer Taylor Swift took to X to announce the premiere of the upcoming Eras Tour film. The film will release in theatres on the 13th of October. For the unversed, the film will highlight the best parts of her tour. Taylor Swift's The Eras Tour commenced in March this year. The tour will conclude next year in the month of November. Singer Pink had to ask a concert goer to exit a show in Texas' San Antonio. A man stood in front of the stage with a poster stating circumcision, cruel and harmful. As the security escorted the man outside, Pink said that she feels bad for him. The incident happened at the Summer Carnival tour stop in San Antonio. Singer Shakira is in hot water with Spanish prosecutors. She's been charged with failing to pay her taxes for the year 2018. Shakira is $7.1 million short on tax payments against her income for that year. The singer allegedly used an offshore company in a tax haven to evade her tax obligations. Shakira, who currently lives in Miami in the US, has reportedly received a legal notification from Spanish authorities. American singer and actor Dove Cameron spoke about dealing with depression her entire life. The 27-year-old singer opened up about her mental health journey in an interview. Cameron revealed that there have been times when she has felt incredibly suicidal. The singer was 15 years old when her father, Philip Allen Hosterman, died by suicide. Cameron spoke about her mental health journey because she wants it to be destigmatized. English comedian David Williams has filed a case against the production company Britain's Got Talent. The former Britain's Got Talent judge has filed a data protection suit. Last year, a leaked transcript of the show revealed that Williams was making explicit sexual comments about contestants. He was forced to resign after the incident. Williams later apologized but also said he regarded his conversations private. Singer Elton John has criticized British Home Secretary Suella Braverman's speech on gay people. Braverman said that it is unsustainable for the UK to provide asylum to gay people who face discrimination in their own countries. Elton John said that he's concerned over Braverman's suggestion and leaders need to be more compassionate. He added that Braverman is further legitimizing hate and violence against LGBTQ+ people. Sam Levinson, the creator of the show Euphoria, said that HBO sent actor Angus Cloud to rehab. He said this in a recent interview. Cloud went for a 30-day program and HBO continued to pay for an additional 3 months as well. When Cloud relapsed during Euphoria's second season, Levinson says he drove the actor to rehab again. 25-year-old Angus Cloud died in July this year, reportedly due to substance abuse.